In this dimension of our reality, we function based on a system that has to do with time and the way that it unfolds. Now, when it comes to time, it comes to a lot of different capabilities and different things that we can utilize this for, not just have it be something that structures our lives and makes everything linear. There is a specific time of day where the veil to spirit is actually thinnest. So as you can see here, sometimes there's a layer of fog. It's hard to think. Sometimes we can't think clearly. Sometimes when we're so focused on our spiritual practice, we actually experience this kind of fog and we can't quite connect to spirit as fully. But if we could connect straight to spirit and get that perfect connection going, if we knew the most perfect time to do it, then we would have enhanced crazy amounts of psychic powers. At this time, we would be able to really connect to spirit and really connect to source and allow more downloads and information that is beneficial to us to come through. And not only this, but if we keep hitting this at this specific time, we are building a powerful spiritual habit at the most powerful time of the day. You know what I'm talking about? Like, this is just over the moon awesome. So welcome to Vibes and Frequencies. I'm Nathan and I make videos to help people to be the most powerful expression of themselves. And the way that that translates in this video is by presenting to you the most powerful time to connect to the most powerful expression of yourself. Then I'm going to explain to you how this works, what it feels like for me, my experience in this process, and then I'm going to explain to you how it works and why this is actually taking place if you're interested to know that. That's usually the kind of stuff that I find myself intrigued with. We'll see. We'll see if you make it. You could let me know if you do. So, what is the most powerful time to connect to our most powerful expression? I'll give it to you right now. I'm not going to make you wait till the end of the video for it. That would be ridiculous. So it is between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., meaning that the peak right in the center, 3 a.m., the most powerful time to connect to spirit. So when I first started going through my spiritual awakening, meaning when I first tapped into my spirituality and was waking up to all the magic of life that I really had not paid attention to before or even believed to exist, I was so enthralled and so excited. I'm sure that you can relate to this. I found myself, though, very sensitive to other people's energies, the people at my work, my roommate, my family, my friends. Everybody was throwing me off of my game because I was, boom, shot straight to spirit, connected all this high vibrational energy, and here's all these people walking around carrying all this like other kinds of energy and more so focused on the human experience that I had been part of prior, right? So it kept pushing me off because when we're so cracked open to energy, we find all these other energies influencing us. So what I started doing, and I know this is seriously comical, at a certain point in our spiritual practice, we will find ourselves not being as spiritually sensitive to other people. We become more centered with ourselves, other things we don't allow or give permission to throw us off our game as much. But what I did, here's what I did to combat this. I promise this is relevant to the video, all right? I promise. So what I did was I started waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning because this was the time when my roommate would be asleep, everybody would be asleep, and it was quiet. I could finally think. I wasn't having all these people's energies forced at me. So what I would do at this time is I would contemplate my spirituality. I would contemplate life. I would meditate. I would ride my bike and I would make my YouTube videos between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. And this is when I was first getting started on YouTube. If you go back and you check the videos, you can see that I'm in a dark room. Most of those videos are filmed at about 3 o'clock a.m. exactly. You can almost see the tiredness in my eyes. Now, this was so effective for me that I kept doing it. Naturally, my schedule started to change. Of course, this means that I was going to bed at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, but it was the perfect switch. Now, that was about a year ago that I was doing these things. And after a few months, I became a little bit more capable with myself to not be as pushed around by other people's energies or things that they're saying or other people's lifestyles. I became much more centered in who I truly am. this most powerful expression, right? So my schedule naturally started to shift and this stopped. Now fast forward a bit. For the last 2 weeks, I found myself naturally waking up at almost exactly 2 or 3 a.m. every single freaking day. Unintentionally. This is not my intention. I haven't been trying to do this. And what I've found at these times is that I'm having profound spiritual downloads. I'm having a profound sense of centeredness and trust for the universe, and I can actually see the future at this time. Now, here's the deal. We all have psychic abilities. We all have all of the psychic abilities. There's no one that's born with one and then someone that's born with two, but this one with the one doesn't have that same power. We all have all of these powers and capabilities. It is just naturally what we fall into that might be part of our experience in this human realm, right? For me, that is seeing the future. For other people, what other psychic abilities and things that they might have, they will be able to tap into at this time more powerfully. So I did some investigation because I was curious. Why do I keep waking up at this time? Are other people knowing about this? Is this normal? Is this just something I'm making up and crafting in my mind? Or is this something that is real that we can all use that I could share in a YouTube video? So I started doing some research, baby. And guess what I found? I found a video by an enlightened guru on YouTube named Sadhguru. Now he talks about waking up at the exact same time that I'm talking about. And he says that people who are spiritually called and have like a spiritual purpose type mission thing. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. This is Sadhguru, I'm paraphrasing. He says that people that are called for a spiritual purpose will find themselves waking up at this time, being called by, in a sense, God or spirit, the universe. Now, I like Sadhguru a lot. And I totally agree with him, obviously. I found him because I agree with him on this. Here's my thing, though. We are all called by spirit. We are all called on a spiritual mission. Even if you know someone in your life that's not interested in spirituality and doesn't care about all this magic and psychic stuff, it doesn't matter. They are still called by spirit because we are all here on planet Earth as a human. Earth is not the kind of dimensional reality you go to for fun or for a vacation. This is a place to learn and to grow and to experience our spiritual evolution on a, in a sense, more rapid kind of scale. But again, these kinds of things take place out of time. So let me go ahead and stop rambling here, and let me go ahead and explain to you why I believe that this actually works. Because yes, it's happening. Yes, I agree that I'm feeling a much more profound spiritual capability. Yes, an enlightened guru agrees with me. Yes, I was able to find other articles that talk about this being the time that the veil is thinnest. Here's my rationalization for why, though, in case you're curious. So here is my personal opinion on what is going on here, in case you're interested. And if anybody else has a different kind of opinion about this, or they've got something to say, I would actually love to hear, because I want to open this up to conversation and discussion. Now, here is spiritual Wi-Fi. Check that out. Spiritual Wi-Fi, baby. Now, as you can see here, this is you, and you've got full bars. You've got full connection to spiritual Wi-Fi. Everyone over here that's sleeping, they don't need as much of a connection because they're in a different kind of state, right? Normally, we are all thinking and creating all these different kinds of thoughts and all these different energies, and this is what creates the clouds. This is what creates clouds everywhere, is because of thought forms. Thought forms fill up an entire room. And when you are cracked open to spirituality, a lot of times we find ourselves in an evolved state where we can actually connect to the thought form realm. We can connect to these dimensions and we can actually feel people's thoughts. A lot of times we call this reading minds, but this is just naturally somebody else's thoughts can flow through you. This is totally a real thing, I know, because this happens to me all the time. I'll be thinking thoughts, I realize it's not even mine, and then Joe Schmo over here says exactly what I was just thinking. Perhaps it's Joe Schmo who's reading my mind, right? So you've got better connection to spiritual Wi-Fi, because think about how during the day, let's say you've actually got like a Wi-Fi router in your house, you got your whole family there. If everybody is connected at the same time to the Wi-Fi, it will be slower, it will be foggier, it will be more difficult to pull information as quickly. Now, when everybody's asleep and they're all disconnected from the Wi-Fi, nobody's trying to stream their Netflix, then you've got full connection. The whole Wi-Fi setup is yours for you. Now, here's the deal. Other people who are called spiritually to be awake at this time, they are filling the entire world with their thought forms. Their thought forms are likely going to be different from other people who are sleeping at this time. Am I saying that these people are stupid and I don't want their thoughts in my mind? Absolutely not. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. And this is the kind of energy when it comes to spirituality we don't want to start riding. Spiritual ego will knock you way lower than you ever started at before. Trust me, I have been through this multiple times. It likes to come up and disguise itself. So that is not what this is about. This is specifically about what you want to connect to. You want to connect to spirit. You want to connect to your psychic abilities. You are going to be able at this time to do that. Between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., you can do that. You've got a full connection to yourself, and the other people that are connected at the same time of you that are up at this time are likely doing spiritual things as well, because like Sadhguru says, they have been called to wake up at this time. And if someone else just randomly wakes up, let's face it, in the morning when you wake up, you're kind of foggy in terms of thoughts. It takes a while to get the mind starting to vibrate and starting to roll. So even so, when you first wake up, anybody that's awake at this time is likely going to be more silent. They're going to be taking up less space, which means more space for you to do the things that you want to do with it. Pretty exciting, right? I think so. So I'm actually going to pick this up because I just feel called to do so. Woo, hello. I'm holding an entire thing right now to hold the camera. So this is where I'm at right now. I'm on the outskirts of Sedona, and I'm showing this to you because when I started finding myself waking up at 2 a.m. again, 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. around this time, I naturally started feeling this very sense of knowing. It doesn't take place in my thoughts when you're listening to spirit and you have this kind of connection. It's not something that my person is thinking. It's not something that Nathan is working out. It's something that you know in your heart, because that is the feeling that you get from this powerful connection to spirit, a sense of knowing, a sense of truth. And for me, that truth was that this is where Nathan should be right now, is in Sedona. And this is for other energetic reasons with some vortexes. I'm thinking and kind of dabbling with the idea about making some videos about the Sedona vortexes and how to use that energy. If you guys are curious, you could let me know. I don't know, I just don't really know if anybody would be very excited about that. Anyways, I do make 3 videos a week. So if this was exciting to you, and if you want to see some more, definitely make sure to subscribe. That would be pretty cool. And I will see you for the next video if you do. Once again, I'm Nathan. Have a beautiful day. Have a good one. Bye.